Do you want to find a stress-free way to buy your next car? Start at CarMax and shop your way. If you want to browse with confidence, get pre-qualified online with no impact on your credit score and shop cars within your budget. From luxury cars to family rides, CarMax has options for almost every price range, including more than 25,000 cars priced under $25,000. So, hey, want to get started? Just head to CarMax.com for details and get pre-qualified today. Want to drive? CarMax.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
When people turn to healthcare for weight loss, they're looking for real support. That's why more people are choosing OrderlyMeds.com. Orderly Meds connects you with real doctors and access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide. No guessing, just a more supportive experience. And all shipped directly to your door in discreet packaging. Do your research. Ask questions. Then visit OrderlyMeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. That's OrderlyMeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Busted appliance? This is your sign to upgrade. Shop at Lowe's to get up to 35% off and next day delivery on hundreds of major appliances. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Order by 4 p.m. Available Monday through Saturday. Subject to availability. Fees, exclusions, and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/appliance delivery for more details.
Visit your nearby Lowe's on Broad Street in Sumter.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
So this is Between Us with me and Dr. Robert Schwartz, best boobs in Dallas. Heather Dubrow is off doing things with conflict and resolution, I think, somewhere with maybe some housewives or two. And I've got my best friend and my favorite genius, Dr. Robert Schwartz, board-certified plastic surgeon from Dallas. And we're doing a bonus episode. We're going to answer some fan questions, okay? And let's go through these pretty quickly and give some really fun, interesting take-home message answers. Okay, fan question number 1. I have a deviated septum. What do I do?
Septoplasty.
Well, it depends. You go to a doctor, plastic surgeon, or ear, nose, throat doctor. I have a deviated septum. They go, great, lie down here. Let me cut you open. I mean, it depends. What does that mean to have a deviated septum? If your deviated septum is causing significant airway obstruction, okay. But if everybody has a deviated septum, and it's like a spine, does anybody really have a straight spine? Okay, I think if you did a CAT scan on 1,000 people with no airway obstruction, 988 of them would have some deviation of their septum. So a deviated septum in and of itself is not necessarily an anatomic geometric structure. It really is, what is it doing to you functionally? So it depends, Go to a doctor.
Functionally or potentially cosmetically.
Yeah.
It could be causing a visible outward curve of the nose. And so there's fixes for that. Yeah, so in and of itself, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I'm assuming that anyone saying that didn't just, I don't know, take photos of their own septum and just they've had some symptom from this.
Well, in the past, it was the the way the plastic surgeon could get it paid for by insurance, calling it deviated. And then
those days are long gone.
Yes, and now people are very happy to discuss their plastic surgery, but it was a way that you could justify to your friends having your rhinoplasty. Oh, my nose looks completely different because I had a deviated septum. While I was there, I had them take a little bit of the bump off. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Those days are over.
I know. Number 2, I've been getting filler for years, and now my face looks puffy. What's happening under the skin? You want to grab that one?
Well, there's a number of things that could be happening under the skin. The first is that depending on what the filler is and how much has been put in, it's not always going away.
Right.
And so it can build up over time. And I think people talk about filler migrating. I think that's less of a thing than is claimed. I don't think it's that easy for it to move around. But I think giant globs of it can certainly deform your face after a while.
Right.
And probably large amounts of it cause some inflammatory processes under there. Some of them are intended to do that. Sculptra, Radiesse, those are intended to cause inflammation.
Right. But
so it can make changes over time.
Very important point. So if your doctor goes, don't worry about it, we'll put filler in, it all dissolves. Even if it's hyaluronic acid, it may not dissolve and probably won't. And recent studies based on MRIs have shown it probably hangs and then it attracts a lot of water. And then it can cause scarring and, just as you said, the inflammatory reaction. So your face is puffy because you may have had too much filler. And I would immediately
filler's a less is more thing.
Less is more, and immediately, if it's looking puffy, go get some hyaluronidase, which is an enzyme that dissolves it. Okay, I'm 28.
Assuming you had a hyaluronic acid filler in the first place.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm 28, starting to see early jowling. Am I too young to do anything about that? We're seeing a lot of that, people wanting to come in now with early facelift surgery. Is there anything else that you like to tell your patients maybe to consider before a facelift for jowling?
I would generally, on someone that young, I'm not sure that it's even aging at that point. I think it's just your facial anatomy. And I've had a lot of success with those things. Again, using filler, basically. And basically, I inject some filler in front of the jowl, a little bit behind it. It smooths out the jowl. It essentially makes it invisible. But I think at that age, unless there's something strange going on, a facelift is vastly overkill for this.
Yeah, 28 early jowling, you may just have gained a little weight, and so you might
lost a little weight or
something. But I don't think the facelift is the place to start.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
You're 28. You probably look great.
You're not having a face. Okay, I want a breast augmentation, but I'm scared about what they'll look like when I'm older. Should I be? The answer, I think, is yes, but it depends, right? You should always be scared about any plastic surgery procedure is going to look like when you're older. Having said that,
I think you should just be scared what you're going to look like when you're older, now that I'm old. If I had known it was going to be this, I would have been terrified a lot younger. There's nothing good happening.
No, but what do you think the average age for, Rob, what do you think the average age for a breast augmentation is?
In my practice, probably 30s.
Yeah. So I think
30s to mid 40s or so, but I mean all over the place.
Yeah. So 28, you should be worried in that you shouldn't go too big. Don't push the envelope too much.
Never do that.
Because if you're 28, the chance that you're going to want to have children is probably high. And then if you go very big and then have children with all the concomitant weight gain on top of that, then it's going to stretch out your skin even more. And then after the first child, you're not only going to need to downsize, but you're probably going to need an early lift, which you absolutely want to avoid because of the scarring associated with lift. So I think less is better when it comes to a breast augmentation. What do you think is the average size in cc's you're seeing you're putting in people today around age 30? 300?
In the range of the upper 300s, lower 400s.
What was it 20 years ago? For me, it was 450 to 550. It's gotten smaller, don't you think?
I think it was the same, for me, honestly.
Even in Dallas, where everything is bigger? Best boobs in Dallas, Dr. Robert Schwartz?
I've never been the guy for that. Now, if I have someone who comes in, I have a very elaborate consultation process to figure out what size to put in. But I've never been the guy that pushes them to go bigger.
Me either. And that's a very common thing.
In fact, I remember you and I sitting in a meeting once, and what, more than once probably, where some guy up on the stage goes, whatever your patient tells you they want, put in 2 sizes bigger. And it's this patronizing, the little lady doesn't know what she really wants.
Right.
And I remember turning to him and going, did he just really say that in public?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. So, look, I think you have a finite amount of real estate on your chest. And if you push over this, then you're just more likely to have problems over time.
What do you tell patients how long implants should last? Remember the old days, and a lot of them still think, at 10 years, I'm supposed to change them out. What do you tell your patients?
I don't tell them that anymore. I tell them, for a long time, I was telling them, expect that they're going to need to be changed at some point because they leak.
Right.
And historically, I've been telling patients to expect 10 to 20 years. I actually think it's a little longer than that with modern implants.
I agree.
I'm closer to like 12 to 25 or so.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Are you trying to get weight loss support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Let's talk personal style.
Are you a classic jeans and tee minimalist, a Louis Vuitton lover, or do you like a little bit of both depending on the vibe?
Whatever your fashion mood, you can find what feels like you on Poshmark.
With millions of new and pre-loved pieces, Poshmark is your one-stop style destination. From everyday wardrobe staples to vintage gems and luxury labels. Into Reformation? Got it. Carhartt? Got that too. From designer bags to streetwear, it's all there.
Men's? Yes. Women's? Absolutely. Kids? You bet.
And the best part? You're shopping real closets from real people with real style. It's like rating your most fashionable friend's wardrobe.
If you had thousands of fashionable friends. Plus, every item over $500 goes through Poshmark's authentication process. So you can shop high-end with total confidence. Ready to refresh your closet? Head to Poshmark.com, sign up with code PODCAST10, and get $10 off your first purchase.
Go ahead, find your next favorite thing.
It's tax season, and by now, I know we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Here's another one. 1 in 4 honest, hardworking, tax-paying Americans has been a victim of identity theft. But it's not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's US-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by another good number, the $1 Million Protection Package. In fact, restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Don't face identity theft and financial losses alone. There's strength in numbers with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection for tax season and beyond. Visit lifelock.com/iHeart and save up to 40% your first year. That's 40% off at lifelock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
Taco Bell is rolling out the new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas. And here's the thing, you literally can't just get one. They come in twos. And thank goodness they do, because these toasted cheddar Street Chalupas, filled with slow-roasted chicken, crispy bacon, and avocado ranch, are stacked with bold flavor that keeps you going back for more. Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas, only at Taco Bell. Get yours today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Okay, I'm 41. I've never done Botox. I think I'm ready to try, but I'm worried. It literally says toxin in the name of it. I'm trying not to put toxins in my body. Should I not? Are there long-term effects from Botox? Is it toxic for you?
Well, I mean, we've been doing Botox now for over 25 years in this society in large amounts, so we should all be dead.
I agree.
I think, look, everything is a toxin. It's all a question of dosages, right? So, one of the saddest things you see in an ER is people who swallow a bottle of Tylenol in a suicide gesture, only to find out that not only are you going to die, there's pretty much nothing short of a liver transplant that's going to prevent that. It's the dose. And so the amount of dosage that you're putting in with Botox is not going to harm you unless injected in some bizarre, irrational way.
I think Botox is one of the most benign things that a plastic surgeon or dermatologist does. And that I think it looks weird when you put too much in, particularly for a guy. You should have lines. Don't go for the bowling ball head with the shiny forehead. But I think Botox is extraordinarily safe. I will tell you that the only problem I've had with Botox, and I've had a lot of Botox in my life, is that they don't work on me anymore because I've formed antibodies to Botox. So unless I use Daxify, which is like 5th generation Botox, it doesn't work at all. And even Daxify doesn't really work very well for very long on me. So
yes, that's also getting older. Everything works less.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, my under eye bags make me look exhausted even when I'm not. What are my options? Under eye bags. Boy, that's a 2-hour podcast right there. How can you sort of, summarize that with a couple of sentences?
Well, under eye aging is a very complicated thing. It's very complicated anatomy, and it requires a very careful diagnosis because sometimes the problem isn't even the eyelids, it's the upper cheeks. Sometimes it's the hollow between the cheek and the eyelid that makes the eyelids look baggy. Sometimes it's true fat coming out of your eye sockets and protruding. The answer could be as simple as some filler, right? It might even be just some skincare. Sometimes it's literally a mid-facelift to shorten the height of the lower lids, and sometimes it's a traditional blepharoplasty to tighten the skin. So it's
very individualized. It's very hard to answer this with a simple answer, but I would say, filler in the lower eyelid area has become a lot less popular these days because of a lot of the complications that people have realized. So if you're going to have, we use this word we like to use called judicious. If you're going to have filler put in your lower eyelids, have the surgeon or dermatologist do it judiciously. Less is better. And if you've got very deep hollows with very significant pillowing in your lower eyelids, don't maybe try to even all that out with a lot of filler. And
you can't.
It doesn't work.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work, and then it's going to cause it can cause scarring or nodularity and be a real problem that Paul and I have been seeing on Botch. So be careful with the filler. All right, how do I know if my surgeon is actually good or just good at Instagram? I think they're all good at Instagram. Okay, so Instagram in and of itself doesn't mean diddly. Unfortunately, we're all sort of influenced by Instagram because I'm like a 13-year-old. I scroll all day long like a mindless idiot looking at cats, and I know I'm embarrassing. I know it's
where this takes me mentally.
Yeah, I know.
Where this takes me.
Yeah. So you look at my Instagram,
and at some point on this podcast, I will.
Well, let's hold that for another time.
Save that.
I think Instagram, it's just the new way to advertise your practice, and you're putting your very best pictures. And what I really, by the way, the thing
it's
about
a marketing medium, but it's not an education medium.
Yeah, I try not to get bugged by the plastic surgeon sitting there in his scrubs and somebody goes, "Hey, Dr. So-and-so, rate this from 0 to 10. That really bugs me. As if you can rate it, for all patients based on one individual rating system. It's so ridiculous. Blepharoplasty, it's a 6. Oh, breast augmentation, that's a 9. Well, he's a breast augmentation doctor. Deep plane facelift, oh, that's a 2. Oh, you don't do deep plane. It's that those things. Take those all with a big, giant grain of salt.
You know what? Maybe actually avoid those surgeons, because you know what? It's unsurgeon-like. It just is. If your surgeon does reels where he does choreographed dance routines with his nurses, maybe that's not a serious enough person to be doing your surgery.
He has a little too much free time, right? Because
a little too much free time.
What is the one thing you wish every patient knew before they walked into your office? For me, how incredibly good looking and tall I actually am. No, kidding.
You know what? I wish that too. If they'd walk in here knowing how incredibly tall and good looking you are. That's what I often think. I go, have I ever told you about my friend Terry Dubrow? You may know him from Botch, but he's also incredibly tall and good looking.
Despite what you see on TV. Face for radio.
Very tall and very, very good looking.
So I think for me, I used to rue the day that the patients would come in armed with Google search knowledge, right? Yeah. I hated that. I actually wish they would look at ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT some preliminary questions, because I think ChatGPT or any of the other language learning models, Anthropic, Gemini, blah, blah, Perplexity, whatever.
Not Grok.
Grok's sarcastic. I love Grok. But it is actually very good at giving you sort of a general informational, sort of syllabus primer before you come in. I think I wish they knew a little bit of what Grok or one of the other LLMs is going to tell you. What would you say?
I don't know that I have an
How about you get what you pay for? If the plastic surgeon's too inexpensive?
Yeah, I think I guess along those lines, I would wish that they would understand that when you're purchasing, whatever it is, let's say a breast augmentation or a facelift or whatever, it's not like you're buying a Buick. There's no such thing as a breast augmentation. It is a rough categorization of techniques that will be done differently by any surgeon that you see. And so it's not like going and buying a Toyota at one dealership or the same car at another dealership. There's no way you're getting the same thing. Sure. And so you need to form that connection with the surgeon in the consultation. You need to make sure they understand you very clearly and have a clear target of what it is that you want, and that you get a sense in your gut that, okay, we've got to fit here. Because if you don't do it.
Right.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
When people turn to telehealth for weight loss, they're looking for real support. That's why more people are choosing OrderlyMeds.com. Orderly Meds connects you with real doctors and access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide. No guessing, just a more supportive experience, and all shipped directly to your door in discreet packaging. Do your research, ask questions, then visit OrderlyMeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. That's OrderlyMeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Let's talk personal style.
Are you a classic jeans and tee minimalist? A Louis Vuitton lover? Or do you like a little bit of both, depending on the vibe?
Whatever your fashion mood, you can find what feels like you on Poshmark.
With millions of new and pre-loved pieces, Poshmark is your one-stop style destination. From everyday wardrobe staples to vintage gems and luxury labels. Into Reformation? Got it. Carhartt? Got that too. From designer bags to streetwear, it's all there.
Men's? Yes. Women's? Absolutely. Kids? You bet.
And the best part? You're shopping real closets from real people with real style. It's like rating your most fashionable friend's wardrobe.
If you had thousands of fashionable friends. Plus, every item over $500 goes through Poshmark's authentication process. So you can shop high-end with total confidence. Ready to refresh your closet? Head to Poshmark.com, sign up with code PODCAST10, and get $10 off your first purchase.
Go ahead, find your next favorite thing.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Busy work weeks can leave you feeling drained. Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet works at the cellular level to rejuvenate you from the inside out, providing real results that include fat-focused, sustainable weight loss with no injection needed. Next Gen builds on the original Prolon with 100% organic soups and teas, a richer taste, and ready-to-eat meals. Developed at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by top medical centers, Prolon supports biological age reduction, metabolic health, skin appearance, fat loss, and energy. Get 15% off plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe at prolonlife.com/iHeart. That's prolonlife.com/iHeart.
Yeah, I had a baby a year ago. My body just doesn't feel like mine anymore. What is a mommy makeover, and is it worth it? Let's face it, mommy makeover is typically something with the breasts, something with the tummy. It's usually either breast augmentation plus or minus lift, or at least a lift and a tummy tuck, right? Usually
or liposuction. Which
is often part and parcel of a abdominoplasty, a tummy tuck operation. Yeah. I think that is one of the most worth it procedures, depending on where you are in your stage of life and depending what weight you're at, okay? Because if you still really haven't lost a lot of the baby weight, even though you may really want a mommy makeover, maybe go on a GLP-1 and get your weight down, because you'll get much better results closer to your more idealized BMI. But but I think mommy makeovers, generally speaking, are extraordinarily. We were going to do a segment on the podcast that we did previously about operations that are almost always worth it. I think this is one that's almost always worth it. Do you agree?
Yeah. And I think this warrants talking about in more detail in the future, because I think what women go through following pregnancy, there is no equivalent for men, where you start off and you have your girlish body, your youthful body, and in the span of a year, it's completely transformed.
Yeah.
We lose our hair over decades. It's for a man, it's like waking up going to bed with a full head of hair and waking up bald in the morning.
It's shocking. What is the one thing people spend money on that you think is completely worth it, in sort of in the same vein, and one thing that's totally overhyped? Oh, this is a whole nother 2-hour podcast, but what I think the mommy makeover is completely worth it if you're doing it at the right stage of your life and you're healthy and you're at your pretty close to your ideal body weight. Would you agree? The mommy makeover is brilliant, right?
I think the mommy makeover totally delivers. I think, honestly, on a much simpler level, breast implants totally deliver.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think they totally deliver.
Right. In the future, we have to talk about the new kind of breast implants and what you think about them, those Motivas, because that lower rate of capsular contracture. But anyway, and the one thing that's totally overhyped, boy, you could separate that into surgical and non-surgical categories. But it's funny, even though the future of plastic surgery will be non-surgical energy delivery devices to tighten the skin, it's kind of shameful.
Still not.
It's still not. I think that's the most overhyped. Come in.
Yeah.
I just spent this $175,000 on this device, and I need to get my return on investment. And it causes so much tightening without a scalpel, it's overhyped. Would you agree with that?
The laser tchotchke du jour is the most overhyped thing. It's like going back to, we need to talk about this sometime, the first laser thing we went to together in like the 90s.
The N-Light.
The N-Light.
We'll save that story.
The N-Light makes new collagen in your skin, as has every bullshit device since then. If an aggregate of 1 pound of collagen has been made worldwide, I'd be amazed.
By the way, it was the world's most expensive flashlight.
If that.
It did absolutely. In fact, you want to hear something pathetic that's true? The only thing I ever saw it do, plus or minus, is cause some mild hyperpigmentation. It never caused any significant tightening.
I think it did have one benefit. I think it really started to hone your acting skills. Walking in there going, oh my God, look at you.
This is the greatest thing ever, right? Okay. And then finally, is there anything you simply won't do, a procedure you turn patients away for? You know what it is for me, right? I will not do a Brazilian butt lift. I just don't think something that has a risk of fatality to it, for me, okay, that even if we've learned how to do it much more favorably with a much lower risk of fatality, it's just too bloody scary. You know, as a medical legal guy who does a lot of this in a career, and a certified expert at California Medical Board, I'm still seeing, and you're still seeing in the media, you know, fatalities from the Brazilian butt lift. I won't touch it. I just won't. What about you?
There are a number of things that I won't do, and one of them, it has nothing to do with the procedure itself. I don't do rhinoplasties. Okay. And the reason I don't do rhinoplasty, I think rhinoplasty I don't think there's anything wrong with the procedure. I don't do them because I think even in the best hands, it's an operation that has too much unpredictability in the healing, at least for me.
Yeah.
I want to do things where I know if I'm aiming for this, I might go to this or I might go to this. But the problem with rhinoplasty is that very often what you're trying to do is change things by millimeters.
Right.
And because you're dealing with the way the body heals and unpredictable skin tightening and unpredictable amounts of scarring and all these things, small changes, small variabilities in the result are the difference, especially on the nose, between a great result and one that never quite looks right. And even in guys I know, look, I trained, some of the best rhinoplasty surgeons in the world.
Yes.
Okay. And at UT Southwestern, even in their hands, there's an unacceptable degree of unpredictability for my taste.
I don't disagree.
I just don't want to do procedures like that.
Right. 2 millimeters of difference in nipple height, you can't see it. Okay. You can't even really measure it. But 2 millimeters, we used to have this expression, right? Because we love these sort of coined expressions in plastic surgery. Millimeters are miles when it comes to rhinoplasty surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't control, and you don't have control. You don't have fine control at the level you need fine control to hit that operation out of the park every time. And if that's going to be the case, I just don't want to do it.
Okay. Yet another fascinating episode, a bonus episode with Dr. Robert Schwartz, boob god of Dallas, genius, and my best friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Bali from iShares, you get access to both monthly income and growth potential in one simple ETF. It's the best of both worlds. Discover Bali, iShares Large Cap Premium Income Active ETF. iShares, the market is yours. Visit www.ishares.com to view a prospectus for investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information that you should read and consider carefully before investing. Risks include principal loss and the use of derivatives, which could increase risks and volatility. Monthly income is not guaranteed. Prepared by BlackRock Investments, LLC.
When people turn to telehealth for weight loss, they're looking for real support. That's why more people are choosing OrderlyMeds.com. Orderly Meds connects you with real doctors and access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide. No guessing, just a more supportive experience, and all shipped directly to your door in discreet packaging. Do your research, ask questions, then visit OrderlyMeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. That's OrderlyMeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
It's tax season, and by now, we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. But it's not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second and alerts you to threats you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.